My name is Reverend Donna Maurer, and I'm the spiritual leader of the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living in Amano, Arizona. I am here on Zoom with our music director, Heather O'Day, and John Lopez, who is serving as our practitioner of the day. We thank you for sharing your time with us, and Heather will ring the bells that open our service.
Hello, my name is Heather O'Day and I am the music director at the Sonoran Desert Center. Let's begin our service this morning with our beautiful bells.
It's my pleasure to do our opening invocation today. So if you wish, I invite you to close your eyes and know with me that there is only God everywhere and equally present, filling all space. It is divine heart, unconditional allowing to be. It lives, moves, and has its being in, through, and as all creation, including you and me. We are divine, perfect expressions of spirit, and we are one with it and with each other. So in this unity, I declare and affirm that this service is already a perfect divine idea in the mind of God, and it manifests and unfolds perfectly now through Heather's beautiful spirit-inspired music and the God-inspired words of Reverend Donna. I declare this service as already whole, perfect, and complete now, and so it is. Namaste.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you for your inspiring words today. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love. All hearts are beating as one. Light upon light upon light, shining as bright as the sun. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love. All hearts are beating as one. Light upon light upon light, shining as bright as the sun.
We're finishing this month's study of our Science of Mind teaching, and our topic today is Science of Mind is a Path with a Heart. In the book by Carlos Castaneda, The Teachings of Don Juan, a Yaqui Way of Knowledge, Carlos is told by Don Juan that there is one question on his spiritual journey that is really the most important one. Does this path have a heart? If it does, the path is good. If it doesn't, it is of no use. I've been thinking about what a path with a heart means. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Don Juan says a path with a heart is joyful. It makes you strong, while a path without a heart weakens you. And he says, for me, there is only traveling on paths that have heart, or any path that may have heart. there I travel, and the only worthwhile challenge is to traverse its full length. And there I travel, looking breathlessly. Last week, Heather sang one of my favorite songs, Everything is Holy Now, by Peter Mayer. When he was a boy, holiness was something that came from God, that came from the church. Holy water to dip his fingers in, a morsel of consecrated bread, a sip of consecrated wine. But now he sings, everything is holy. A child's face, the new morning, a red-winged bird. And before, he wondered why there were no more miracles. And now he can't find a place where there isn't one. And he tells us that he walks through the world with a reverent air because everything is holy now. So the words in that beautiful song move us from separation to connection, from outside actions, the need to go to a place in order to find that which is sacred, to coming from a place within that deems everything sacred. He has found his path with a heart, traversing its full length with a reverent air. And for me, the teaching of Science of Mind is the path that has shown me that everything is holy, everything is sacred. And when I am mindful and conscious, I travel it, looking breathlessly at all the miracles. Science of Mind teaches that there is an infinite power and an infinite presence that is pure love. And each one of us is part of that pure love. We were birthed from it. And not only are we expressions of this love, so is everyone else, so is everything else. So we can say then that the first premise of Science of Mind is God is infinite love. And the second, we, you and I, and all that exists are that love in expression. And when we come from this perspective, then it's really much easier to see that everything is holy now. But of course, the next question is, then why is there suffering? Why are we having racial tensions? Why are we in this worldwide pandemic? Why is the economy tanking? Why is my life in a turmoil? Our founder, Ernest Holmes, tells us that humankind was given the gift of choice. And if we didn't have that gift, we would be automatons. In almost every case, whether of war, of suffering, of disease, of the chaos in our own mind, we as individuals or as members of society have made choices that have not been in our best interest. And some of those choices were made before we were born. Some we make every day. The third premise of Science of Mind is that the choices we make result in experiences that reflect that choice. What we choose to believe, to think about, to focus on, is the path we choose to traverse. If our choices come from a solid belief that we are all expressions of love, we are all connected because we're birthed from the same source, then we have chosen the path with the heart. We have said that God is absolute intelligence, one undivided, birthless, deathless, changeless reality. And its attributes are love, truth, beauty, joy, harmony, peace. So we are part of and an expression of that at the level of the absolute. This is the intrinsic truth of our being. But we also live in the realm of time. In the realm of time, there are pairs of opposites that don't exist at the level of the absolute. In the realm of time, there is joy and sorrow, good and seeming evil, love and hate. In the realm of time, we have choices. And it is in this realm of time, right now, right where we are, that our work begins. Because Science of Mind teaches that our job is to bring the attributes of our intrinsic nature into the world of our duality. Our job is to reflect the attributes of that intrinsic nature in the way we live each and every day. So we are engaged in this beautiful dance between being and doing. And it is in the doing that we bring the holy, the sacred, into the world of affairs. So the path of the heart holds this delicate balance between being and doing. Living in the realm of time, we see and often interact with pairs of opposites. We experience pain when we see the injustices in the world. We experience pleasure as we watch a covey of quail that runs across our path. We experience sorrow at the loss of someone we love. We experience joy at the sight of a newborn baby. The Sufis speak of polishing the heart into a mirror so that through our love we can reflect the heart of everything. And according to author Mark Nepo, this is one practice that in time can help us make the necessary agreement between our being and our humanness. He says, by its very nature, living in the world creates a film over our heart, while our thoroughness of being and our gestures of love remove that film. He says there's no arrival in this process. The goal isn't to stay clean or get dirty, but to stay engaged in the unending, transformative cycle of life. And Science of Mind helps us in this process. No matter how much we desire to always make choices and take action that support our intrinsic nature, there will be times when we cannot or choose not to. And at those moments, we need to be as gentle and loving with ourselves as we try to be with others. We need to reassure ourselves that even with our imperfections, we are expressions of God, birthed from the love of God. And the film that might have been over our heart at that moment of choice is now being polished by the love we give to ourselves through our own self-forgiveness. And in this personal transformative process, we are once again able to share our love with the world. So we learn in Science of Mind to see beyond the pairs of opposites to the intrinsic truth that love is all there is. And when we come into any situation with this consciousness, that situation can be the threshold for healing, for joy, for love. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, tells us if we look for a God of love, we must look long and deeply into each other. We must look away from the differences until we penetrate into the unity of the whole. The world of duality is the world of relationships. So at any moment, you and I have the opportunity to bring heaven to earth. We can bring the attributes of the infinite into specific experiences. If our path is to have a heart, then the intrinsic nature of love can show up as compassion, as connection. And there's so many stories in our own center of people who are making those compassionate connections, shopping for one another, baking and distributing their baked goods to the neighborhood, making calls to members and friends who are alone, creating colorful rocks to distribute on the walk. The list is endless. Love that shows up as compassion and connection is one of the most beautiful ways we can truly come to understand that we are all one. There was a beautiful story that went viral several years ago. It was about an 8-year-old girl named Gabby. She has made it part of her life's work to feed the crows around her home in Seattle. Each morning, with the noisy crows lined up in anticipation on the telephone wire, she sets out peanuts, dog food, and water, and watches as they swoop down to eat and drink their fill. And while that's a beautiful story about her connection with birds, there's something more wonderful happening, and that is the birds have connected with her. Not every day, but often, Gabby will find a little trinket in her bird feeder. There's a miniature silver bell, a black button, a blue paper clip, a yellow bead, a faded piece of foam, a blue Lego piece, a pearl-colored heart, and the list goes on. It is an odd assortment of objects for a little girl to treasure, but to Gabby, these things are more valuable than gold. They are the gifts from the crows she feeds. They are the gifts when our path has a heart. Science of Mind is a path with a heart because it begins with love as its intrinsic truth and seeks to carry that truth into the everyday world. Some years back, I listened to a talk by Rabbi David Ingber, founder of the Romemu Synagogue in New York City. He said that his teacher, Rabbi Zalman, once woke up his young daughter who was taking an afternoon nap. And she told him, "Daddy, you woke me up. Now that I'm awake, can I wake up even more?" Beautiful words, because this is the dance. We know from deep within us that God as love is all there is and resides in us. And there is work to do. We are awake to who and what we are, and we wake up even more when we share ourselves with the world. This is the work we are asked to do, to be awake to our perfection, to our holiness, and to the holiness of every single life on this planet. To know without doubt that everything is holy right now. That's the teaching of the Science of Mind. And it is a path with a heart. Thank you so much. Namaste.
This is a song by Gary Lynn Floyd and Jamie Lula, otherwise known as Floyd Lula, called In the Name of Love. In the name of love, with a heart of grace, overflowing us, decorate this place as it is above, as is above. May we always stand in the name of love. For when the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one. In the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one. In the name of love. In the name of love. May we always be seeking out the best till we all are free. Living in a world we've been dreaming of, where we stand as one in the name of love. And when the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song, sing as one, in the name of love. 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 In the name of love.
And thank you for joining us today. We would like to continue our messages with you and would greatly appreciate your financial support. Please visit our website, cslaz.org, and click on the donate button. And we do thank you for your consideration. And now I turn our service over to John for our closing affirmative prayer.
So right here, right now, I recognize the divine power that is everywhere present, all good, all the time, filling all space. I feel it, I know it, I am one with it, as are we all. And so I speak my word from the heart. I know, declare, and affirm that this divine heart exists within each and every one of us, here and throughout the world. It is all good, all the time, and independent of any existing conditions or circumstances. It is unconditional allowing to be. I know that this is God principle, and it is the foundation upon which we base our lives, knowing that God heart is everywhere present, continuously, in my life and in the lives of everyone, working, moving, living in and as and through all people. And so with deep gratitude and thanksgiving, I release my word, this truth, into subjective mind for immediate manifestation in the highest, best good of all concerned. I declare it done, and so it is.